Why are there seemingly zero left-wing political content creators in Canada? There's almost none. There are so many right-wing creators. I'm going to react somewhat here to this person named Wyatt Claypool asking this question. I actually made a short video on this maybe 6 weeks ago. I certainly don't expect Wyatt to have seen that. My Canadian channel is very small, but I'll play just a little bit of it right here. Then we'll get to Wyatt's video. Okay, regarding Canadian politics, why aren't there that many left-wing content creators? You can find a bunch of right-wing ones. Okay, getting to Wyatt's video here, he starts with Rachel Gilmore.
Let's start off with an example that you guys are going to find funny, and that is one of our favorite journalists, Rachel Gilmore. Now, her channel actually has a bunch of videos that did pretty well. I'm just going to her popular videos.
He is pretty generous here, I would say, what he considers pretty well. Because I'm going to try to do this without pocket watching too hard or being too cringe. I'm making this point, though, to say if leftist content creators can't even do this to make a living, how is it not like 90% conservative right now in the polls and 10% liberal? Because there are a bunch of conservative creators online crushing it. Do left-wing people just not consume any media at all? I don't really buy that, because in America, they certainly do.
Or like 9 months ago, 7 months ago, 8, 4, 11, 8, 7, 11. You know, it's pretty much everything more than 4 months ago, she was doing much better in. She was getting like 57,000 views, 53,000, 45,000, 42,000. And even if I go to the latest, if I go back.
The thing is, though, those numbers are not fantastic. I don't even think on those numbers alone, YouTube does not have to be your only platform, but even like when she was doing well, I don't think that's enough to get by. Again, like the thing is, I'm sure she could very well have other platforms, but I think YouTube is the main one for basically everybody.
7.9, 3.9.
So he's looking at some older stuff here, like a few months ago, and then he goes forward to more recent.
As of recently, with her video 3 hours ago has 406 views, 1,200 from a day ago, 1,300 from 2 days ago.
Like that is almost nothing. That's almost like having a channel with like no subscribers. He covers some other people here too. There's actually one person he doesn't cover who's, I would say, for sure a left-wing Canadian content creator, except I think he does a mix of Canada and USA. I'll cover him. So he's at least the one person I know that seems to be doing pretty well. But yeah, so he covers another person named the Angry Beaver. But I want to make a quick point just with my channel here. I'm not trying to say this to like brag necessarily, but my recent videos here, this is like enough to have a channel. And if no Canadian left-wing creators, is it just all going to be CBC? Is the entire game in Canada, if you're a media person, to like try to get a job with the CBC? Because I don't think that's very healthy, really, because then you got to go with their, whether you want to call it an agenda or whatever. I mean, I would call it an agenda. I'm sure CBC does not let you say certain things. I think that's kind of been shown, but this stretch here, like 4.1, 5.8, 12, 7, 7, 9.6. Again, this is my other channel. That's not enough to do that as your job. You could do that as a hobby, but you need like some of these to pop. 260, even 125 is decent. 343. You need like kind of 1 or 2 videos to do pretty well a month, I would say, to make that your job. Like this one, 229, like stuff like that certainly helps. And we'll get back to Wyatt's video here for a little bit. Well, he kind of covers a couple more people. Actually, I'm just going to go to the other person that he covers, this person named Steve Boots.
Do I have it here? Yeah, we have our photo of the great super sleuth, Steve Boots. Remember how this guy was like an up-and-coming, more NDP-coded left-wing Canadian YouTuber, and he actually could pull off some really high views sometimes. And then the channel started petering out,
He did, especially during the election. From what I remember, he had some very leftist like TikToks and short form videos with a lot of views. He was certainly incredibly left, but I think it's actually good for Canadian culture and Canadian discourse. Even if you got some wacky leftists giving their thoughts, I think it's better.
He just started live streaming all the time, and all of his content, like Rachel Gilmore's is now, just started being live stream clips about him.
Live streaming, I think, is kind of corny. Unless you're really putting a lot of effort into the live stream. I think live streaming is almost like taking the easy way out in some cases.
Rambling about left-wing philosophy. I once went after him a few times in video responses because he would make these really like kind of like patronizing videos about why young men are voting conservative and talking about how, you know, well, we need to understand young men, but we don't need to make excuses for them and all this stuff. His own audience.
That is something a leftist would say.
Brought up the fact that I had made a video response to him that was multiple times more views than his actual original video, and he just told the person, no, we're not talking about Wyatt Claypool on the show.
That's so stupid. No wonder your stuff isn't going to work. And plus, I don't know this Wyatt Claypool person that much. I think he's center right though, Wyatt Claypool. Who does this Steve Boots guy think Wyatt is?
We don't respond to people like that. And then he wonders why he like quit the channel, deleted all of his videos to go back to teaching. No doubt the school basically required him.
So apparently he went back to teaching. I mean, I actually went to try to find Steve Boots' YouTube channel, and yeah, it's gone. Like, I mean, it's still here, but there's no, it says retired content creator no longer active. So according to Wyatt, he went back to teaching. Even like this clips channel, not here, nothing. And I mean, he had 82K. I just don't know if that was like driven by a lot of YouTube shorts, because that can definitely boost your numbers, but it's quite interesting. But the thing is, like, I actually wish there was more left-wing creators. I just don't think it's good if it's all CBC and stuff like that, because there are a bunch of people on the right in Canada that are crushing it. And it kind of begs the question to me, who votes left? Like, do people that vote left just never consume content? Because I don't really buy that. Like, I think in America, the right wing in media is doing a little better right now than the left. I don't know that that's always been the case, but like historically, I know Fox News generally does better than the other ones, maybe because it's like the only mainstream thing that's on the right. But even like the alternative media space, the right is probably winning right now in America as well, but they're not winning by that much. There are a ton of big American left-wing content creators for sure. There's like Kyle Kalinske, there's Midas Touch, there's that Brian Tyler Cohen, there's David Pakman. That's just off the top of my head. There are way more than that who are all doing very well. But in Canada, there's like nobody. And the funny thing is, it's not really that funny, but the left wing in Canada keeps winning elections. It's insane. Like, look at this guy, does very well. Moose on the Loose. He has just had a great year or two or whatever since he's started becoming popular. Yeah, like he started his channel just over 2 years ago. He basically was doing well, right? I mean, maybe he deleted some of his other videos, but he's been basically crushing it for 2 years. Like, this is not as good, but like even like his, yeah, like he does well. Every time I see a video pop up, I don't watch him all the time, but he does a good job, and he's got like hundreds of thousands of views consistently. So this guy's killing it. Another person killing it. And like, who's the left wing's answer to any of these people? Jasmine Lane is killing it.
And expansive.
Jasmine Lane, I think, is the best too in Canada right now. Again, I don't watch her stuff all the time, but that's just because I'm kind of sporadic in who I watch anyway. Like, I don't really watch a lot of shows consistently on YouTube for whatever reason. But I mean, I watch my own show because I'm obviously biased to the stuff I put out. But yeah, like Jasmine Lane does great, and she does big interviews, like doing amazing. Even if you go to like Mr. Sunshine Baby, I think this guy's kind of pivoted a little bit to do like some American stuff. Yeah, I guess he took a break off for Christmas, but yeah, so a lot of this stuff is not even Canadian right now. There's a Canadian one. Yeah, I guess he looks like he's kind of pivoted a little bit. There's this guy here. I think this guy's doing a little worse than he did before, but I like this guy too. Clyde Do Something, 200K is pretty good, actually. But again, yeah, his views are not, this isn't amazing, I would say. It's not bad because these videos are a little bit longer. But, yeah, it's not like he was doing, he had a run, I guess. Like he has some videos with a lot of views. He's been doing it for a while. I think this guy actually, yeah, he says in here, he's also a mechanic. So I don't know if this is even his full thing. This is the one person from Canada who definitely does well. But do you even call him a Canadian YouTuber is the question, because if you look at his stuff, like he's got 740,000 subscribers. So maybe he's been doing it for a while. Yeah, 9 years. Like these aren't even Canadian videos. That's Canadian, American, 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 Canadian, Canadian. So it's kind of a mix. Canadian. I don't know. Do you call this guy Canadian or do you call him American? It's tough to say. But who is the left's answer? Is it this guy? Because no, I don't even think people in the Canadian political circle would consider this guy like a Canadian figure. Rachel Gilmore, for sure, because Rachel Gilmore is at least an effective troll on X. Her posts, I would say, are typically banana land, but she's an effective troll. Who's the left-wing YouTuber in Canada? I don't think it's great that there's essentially nobody. You got just CBC, I guess. So anyway, with that said, I'll finish the video, but shout out to you for watching. Thanks for the subscribe and the like, hopefully you'll give me. Have a great day.